What's up, y'all? Welcome to Country with Noah. Today I am going to review Fire Country Season 4, Episode 2. This video will have spoilers in it. I loved this episode, man. I loved, even when a new character is an antagonist, or, he's an antagonist for Bodhi, but in the long run, I think he's going to teach Bodhi a few things. Richards, we get more into his storyline. Richards is played by Sean Hattasey. I really like that Sean Hattasey's in this show. You know why? Because he was in a show called The Pit. He had some of the best scenes in that show, and he won an Emmy for it. So he's an Emmy winner, right? Right. But basically, what happens is, so Sean Hattasey is the new division chief. He's the new division chief, and he's like testing and watching. And Sean Hattasey Richards has been through a lot of shit, right? He's been through a lot of stuff that would break people, right? Like, apparently, we haven't heard his origin story yet. I hope they get into, why is he such a rule follower and stuff like that. But, it's basically understandable because apparently he lost his whole battalion of firemen, right? And stuff like that. And Bodhi and Jake and Audrey and Manny are all gonna come to, not to blows, but they're all gonna have very, very, very gripping arguments. Let's just say that. So basically, what happens is they get tested, and they find out how much of a rule follower he is, and then they're like, Bodhi's like, Mom, you gotta get rid of this guy, right? But Sharon's main priority now that Bodhi is with Cal Fire is to keep him alive, right? And Bodhi, yes, he saves a lot of lives, but he is also not very known for following the rules, right? Like in this episode, he rushes in to like a burning car to save a puppy, right? And he and I'm not saying this stuff is wrong to do, like it's human. And Bodhi and team Bodhi, we're gonna call them. So Jake, Bodhi, Audrey, Manny, Eve, and what's the other? Manny are all on Team Bodhi. So Team Bodhi is all like doing the right thing, saving as many people as they can. One thing I like that Bodhi said here was, when Richards is like reprimanding them for not following the rules, he's like, because quizzing them on, like, Richard's way of reprimanding is quizzing them on like the fireman manual, right? So he's like, rule 1, rule 2, and then he approaches Bodhi and stuff like that. And the tension between Max Terriot and Sean Hattasey here is great, because every time they approach each other, whenever he gives Bodhi shit, or whenever Bodhi feels like Richards is saying too much, right? You always feel like Richards is gonna get punched, right? And you always feel like Richards wants to punch Bodhi, right? Which is a good thing, because it's an antagonistic relationship between those two, right? But yeah, I'm not saying he's an antagonist of the show. He's an antagonist for Bodhi, right? Because I think he's gonna teach Bodhi a few things, right? We have 18 episodes left in the season, so I'm very interested to see where this goes, right? And then you also have the Bodhi drug addict storyline, or pill storyline, right? Where at the very end of the episode, he decides to take the pill that he got from Sky, in Sheriff Country episode 1. And he spits it out afterwards. But with how much we're focusing on it, I think we're going to do like a Bodhi addiction storyline and stuff like that. Oh yeah, one other thing I want to talk about, and this is important to me because, well, you'll find out. So in the episode, Eve and Manny find this guy. I forget his name, but they find this guy who, like, basically with the fires that happened last season in the season finale last season, a bunch of places got burned down. So they find this, I guess you can call it a homeless community in the forest where they're stopping the fire, right? And they're being watched by Richards and Sharon, and they find this community, and Eve finds like somebody siphoning power so that they have power in this community, right? Because they don't have like houses, they just have like tents, and like they basically made a makeshift shelter, right? And so Eve and Manny go and find this guy, right? And who started the circuit and is siphoning power, and he's like, I can't afford healthcare right now, and stuff like that. The reason why this is important to me is, you guys know I have 3 disabilities. I'm autistic, I have cerebral palsy, and I'm visually impaired. Like, dude, in my personal opinion, you shouldn't have to pay for healthcare. It's healthcare. It's to keep you healthy. Like, for me, I live in Canada, right? This show is set in America. I live in Canada, where I've had 10 surgeries, right? But all those surgeries have made your boy better. I get Botox injections in my leg to help my legs to help um, my legs loosen up, right? If I lived in America, I couldn't get those things because those things are expensive. That's why I think that people having to pay for healthcare is stupid. Like, right? And I like that this show is covering that, right? And yeah, so, and then I wonder what they're gonna do with Freak Rock, because um, Freak Rock is the prison camp that's been a like pillar of this show for the last 3 seasons. Right now, they don't have a plan for it, and then you still have tension between Bodhi and Jake, but it's like they're both disobeying Richard's orders, so they both get chewed out. And yeah, like at the end of the episode, Sharon, like he goes to Sharon, Bodhi goes to Sharon, is like, you need to get rid of Richards or something along those lines. He says something along those lines, and he she says, no, I think he's gonna keep my promise, the promise that he made to keep you alive and all of you alive, right? And there's gonna be tension between Sharon and Bodhi this season a lot, right? And like I'm very interested to see Richard's story, like origin story, like how did he lose those men? Is he still grieving? Right? Because he sounds like he's still grieving because he gets so angry when they don't follow the rules. Right? Obviously, you have Bodhi and Sharon still grieving. Right? You have everybody still grieving because Vince was the battalion chief of the fire station for a very, 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 very long time. Right? So, like, you like, bruh, and the acting this season has, like, this show has always been good with its acting, but it's really stepped up. Like, not just the new character Richards, played by Emmy-winning Sean Hannity, but by everybody in this season, right? Like, bruh, like, this show and this universe of shows is so good. and I can't believe how like this show keeps getting better and better and better and better and better, right? And yeah, and thank you. And I would give this episode like a 8 or 9 out of 10. That's how much I liked this episode. And yeah, I hope you have a great day. And thank you so much for watching. And goodbye. And God bless. And if you enjoy this content, please subscribe, like, and share this video. I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much for all your support. And I hope you have a great day.